Next under announcements and presentations, item B, receive the annual report from the Traffic, Safety, and Parking Committee. And we're going to have the chair, Marco Durazzo.
Sorry about that. Dear Honorable Mayor Medina and esteemed members of the City Council, it is my unique honor to present the Traffic Safety and Parking Committee's annual report to you. The work of the TSPC and its collaborative efforts with city staff, council, and our residents is a highlight or a best practice of how municipalities can work with residents to identify, discuss, and more importantly, work together to solve traffic, safety, and parking issues. Is there a clicker here? How do I use this, man? What button do I push? Oh, it's right. All right, thank you. Wait, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, thank you. Just making sure. So before I get into the presentation, I would like to acknowledge and thank my current colleagues on the TSPC, Tom Hamilton, John Gusponi, and Scott Thomas, who are here with us tonight. I would also like to acknowledge the service of former TSPC members Jessica Barnes-Davis and Mark Howard. I would also mention the efforts of our city staff and San Bruno PD for always being there with us. There's a saying that goes, teamwork makes the dream work, and the service and partnership between the committee, the city, the committee and the city are really what give meaning to that phrase. The TSPC was the vehicle by which I was able to get involved in serving our city, and it often amazes me when residents come to our meetings feeling frustrated, upset, looking for answers, as they were last week, and amazed that the committee is comprised of fellow community members who freely give their time to listen to them, help generate possible solutions, all in the name of making our community better, safer, and something we can all be proud to call home. I want to spend a bulk of my time discussing how the TSPC has moved the needle forward in 2018, and I want to share a little bit about what is on the horizon in 2019. Before that, however, let me summarize the role and the duties of the TSPC. The TSPC reviews and recommends actions to the City Council on traffic calming issues, parking, local traffic issues. It also reviews policies and programs affecting traffic and parking for final City Council approval, such as the parking restriction application, traffic calming toolkit, and the crosswalk installation guide. A large piece of the work that we do is rooted in public engagement. Mailers, use of the city website, staff contact information, monthly public meetings are all examples of how the TSPC has interacted with, dialogued, and been a thought partner for our community. This past year, 108 community members attended our monthly meetings. Now for the accomplishments. The TSPC has recommended a red curb bus zone in front of 901 Cherry Avenue for YouTube shuttles, a yellow curb zone on El Camino near Victory Honda, a yellow curb zone on Huntington Avenue for development at 111 San Bruno Avenue, recommended reducing the red curb zone on Rosewood Drive east of Glenbrook Avenue, recommended denial of overnight parking restrictions near Commodore Park, recommended denial of no parking restriction for the west side of the 700 block of Cherry Avenue. And in an important example of the collaborative work between the TSPC and the city, the TSPC participated in a joint subcommittee meeting for residential permit parking program. With respect to safety, the TSPC, it's so much harder to sync between reading this and clicking this. It's amazing. I'm like, what page am I on at the moment? So, with respect to safety, the TSPC has recommended pedestrian safety improvements, including a new crosswalk at the intersection of Huntington Avenue and Lucid Avenue. The TSPC has also recommended signalization of the Bay Hill Shopping Center driveway on Cherry Avenue and the adjacent mid-block crosswalk. And we also recommended no change to the traffic signals at the intersection of Santa Lucia Avenue and Parkwood Drive. In this regard, I want to highlight the recommended improvements at the intersection of San Bruno Avenue and Cherry Avenue that include median modification to add a southbound left turn only lane, flashing yellow operation for northbound and southbound left turn movements, southbound right turn overlap phase, leading pedestrian intervals for the crosswalks across San Bruno Avenue, improved lighting for pedestrians if needed, high visibility crosswalks, possible realignment of crosswalks to improve pedestrian safety. There are many accomplishments, but what is in store for 2019? In 2019, the TSPC will develop recommendations for a new policy for issuing permits for closure of residential streets for neighborhood events, review the special parking restriction policy, review the traffic calming toolkit procedures, and develop recommendations for a policy for evaluating requests for conversion of residential streets to a one-way traffic pattern. As I mentioned earlier, public engagement is critical to the work of the TSPC. Below is the information that we share on a monthly basis with folks who attend our meetings. We encourage them to contact us, to dialogue with us, to work with us so that we can collectively solve many of the parking issues affecting our city. It's been an honor serving on this committee. It's been an honor working collaboratively with the council, and it was really the catalyst by me getting involved in San Bruno and serving the committee. So it's an honor to be here tonight, an honor to be here with the committee. And I'm happy to answer any questions or any comments.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions of council? So I will say then, on behalf of council, Marco, to you, John, Scott, Tom, thank you. And yes, we did hear last week, you had a little action. So we want to thank you too, because obviously I was joking that sometimes I think you have more attendance at your meetings sometimes than we do at ours. And I know that they're trying to get something better, trying to find a way. And I know it's always difficult and challenging trying to work within a system to find the best approach. And you hit on some words I love, which are collaborative and working together to try to find some resolve. We're not going to always find the best solution, but hopefully something better than what we began with, and leaving it better than we found it. So I really want to thank all of you for what you've done and are doing, because it does take a lot, and sometimes you have the passion of individuals, and you're the ones first receiving it. And then we may receive it later after you bring recommendations, but you try to get it all set with staff. So thank you for your work and your effort, and we appreciate it and look forward to 2019. Thank you.
Thank you very much.